Guys, today we're going to be doing direct variation. It's on page 258, and what direct variation means is it's a linear, that's line, function. You know what a function is. So a linear function in which one variable is a positive multiple of the other variable. So there's a relation between the two. So if this was the case, x was 0 and y is 0, x is 1, y is 3, x is 2, y is 6. You have to see if there's a direct link between the two. And if you notice, if you multiply x by 3, you're going to get 0, 3, 6, and 9 on this side. So the equation is y equals 3x. That means every time I get an x, I multiply it by 3 and I get my y. So for example 1, in the table, is y a multiple of x? What is the constant of the variation? Write the equation. So if you notice, if x is 0, y is 0. If x is 1, y is 7. What did we do to x to get 7? We multiplied by 7. That's true for that. That's true for that. That's true for that. So we can say y equals 7x. And that just means whatever we take for x, we multiply it by 7 and we get y. The constant of the variation is 7. Constant means it doesn't change. So that's what doesn't change. So find k if y varies directly with x and y equals 6 when x equals 3. So we're going to say y equals kx. K is the constant. If y is 6, we plug that in, we get 6. X equals 3 equals 3k. Divide by 3 on both sides and you get the constant, or k equals 2. Okay? So number 3. If y varies directly with x and y equals 8 when x equals 4/5, find y when x equals 3. So we have to first say y equals kx. We're going to plug in 8 for y, we're going to plug in 4/5 for x, and we're going to try to figure out what k is. So when we do that, we're going to multiply by 5 to get rid of that, and we get 40 equals 4k. Divide by 4 on both sides, and you get k equals 10. But we're not done. We found the constant, but now we have to find y when x equals 3. So if we plug in, if we know that y equals 10x because 10 is our k, then we can say y equals 10 times 3, which is our example, and we get y equals 30. So that's the answer. For number 4, if y varies directly with x and y equals 2/3 when x equals 10, find y when x equals 7.5. So you're always going to do y equals kx first. So you do y equals kx and plug in our first numbers. 2/3 equals k times 10. So I'm trying to solve for k. I like switching my k on the left. I put k equals 2/3, and then I divided both sides by 10. 2/3 divided by 10, you're going to have to take the reciprocal. K equals 2/3 times 1/10, which equals 2/30, which equals 1/15. So if k equals 1/15, you go back. Y equals 1/15x. Y equals 1/15 times 7.5. 7.5 happens to be half of 15, so y equals 1/2. The last example I'm going to read to you from the book. The distance that an object falls varies directly with the square of the time. If an object falls 64 feet in 2 seconds, how far does it fall in 5 seconds? So the distance varies directly with the square of the time. So distance equals constant variation, the constant times time squared. The distance was 64 equals the constant times 2 squared. 64 equals 4k. So we always got to solve for k first, figure out what the constant is. Once you get the constant, 16, you can say d equals 16t squared. We know that t was 5. That's what we're trying to figure out. You always have to, by PEMDAS, you have to figure out the square first. 5 squared is 25 times 16. So d equals 16 times 25 is 400 feet. All right, so you're going to do on page 261, 1 through 23 all.